item on the agenda is SLUP 11-17076. It's the application of Larry North for a special land use permit to operate a neighborhood recreation club, 2 practice fields, a soccer playing field, and a 2-story, 4,376 square foot clubhouse in an R100 zoned district. It is located on the west side of Johnson's Ferry Road, just shy of 1,000 feet north of Mill Creek Road, and at the address of 1611 Johnson's Ferry Road. It has 437 feet of frontage and contains 12.3 acres. And Ms. Catherine Zickert is here to represent the applicant.
Trying to duck out of answering questions.
Well, no, but I mean, you need to work with them and answer their questions. That wasn't our question.
Let me knock 2 people out because they've been raising their hand. They've been very patient. The young lady in the front in the blue striped shirt.
There's one blurb in a local neighborhood newspaper in the Crier, and it was a very pro article, and it was very flimsy in letting us know what the location was. And there was no letters that went out to the community. We had to take care of it ourselves, and we had to beg for information in order to let our neighbors know.
What would be the soccer fields, John Tower, a neighbor, same situation. Your point about the light and noise pollution, we haven't said the obvious, but your property values and the resaleability goes. I mean, it's going to drop. Certainly the number.
Of the property. And we're concerned about 2 other factors, and that is the light pollution and the sound pollution. We're a quiet bedroom community, and we're really concerned about the noise and the light that would be going on virtually 7 days a week, and it would really change dramatically the ambiance of the community. And we're very much opposed.
Would help traffic, but you said that will help the people who will be parking at the soccer fields get in and out. It will not help the people waiting on Johnson Ferry for those people.
Which is why before I say we can commit or should commit to something like that, we need a traffic study, because it could make it fields over by Marist, and we do not have enough space there. The other schools we used are at Montgomery, and fields is Montgomery and Ridgeview, and they're terrible fields, and none of those have restroom facilities. So we need a better environment in which to play. We will divert about half of the people that are using Ashford Dunwoody over to this field.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this a private club?
Yes, it's a 501c3 nonprofit.
So you need an O&I zoning?
No, we do not, because because just like Zabin is a private club which exists in the R100 zoning district under the special land use permit as a recreational club, we are allowed to as well.
Yeah, but this is play.
So is Zabin.
Most of the people in this area don't really play. They come from all over.
So does Zabin, Kathy. Zabin is a membership.
Zabin's in a different place. It doesn't matter.
It does matter because it's in the exact same kind of zoning district.
It's in Dunwoody. It's in the city of Dunwoody.
It was zoned in DeKalb County, and I secured the special land use permits for it for the past 10 years, and they are all for the neighborhood recreational club in an R100 zoning district. That was already analyzed by the law department on several occasions. And one of them, Mr. Mustin, was not happy about it at all, but that was what the conclusion was. So we don't agree. Well, that's fine. You're entitled to disagree. I'm aware of your concerns. I have been on the website. I have been reading your emails. I have been talking to an attorney that represents some of you. I have been in communication with Mr. Lunston. And as a consequence of that, let me acknowledge off the top, right now, we are willing to defer this, okay? We are not going to seek an approval of this in July. We will willingly consent to move it on to September. And if we can't get everybody answered and feeling like they're a part of the process by September, then we can continue past them. And I know, sir, you were involved in Marist, obviously. I handled that, and we took, I think, a 4 to 6 month deferral. I don't remember. I know it was at least 4. It might have been, sir. There was an extensive set of conditions negotiated to protect adjacent property owners. There were changes made in plans, and I fully anticipate that the same kind of thing is going to happen here.
Why do you need such a large clubhouse?
It's mostly for storage of equipment. If you think about the fences, the nets, the fertilizer, the equipment used to treat the field, that takes some space. But as I said, we're looking to see if we don't.
Okay, because, I mean, I can understand bathrooms in a small storage facility such as the one off Windsor Parkway, but 4,000.
Look at, there's an old foundation on the property now that used to be a house. And what we would like to do is to use that foundation and basically replace it with a structure that looks like a house. I know that's close to some of you. I don't know where some of you.
You have no idea.
Yes, well, I do
You have no idea
now.
how close all of this
I do
is
now
in our
because
backyard.
I sort of drove it the other day more carefully to be conscious of what was around it. Our goal is not to have some kind of a huge clubhouse. What we have thought about doing is having a place to be able to store our equipment, to have restrooms, to have a meeting room for our board, and to have a snack bar that would be volunteer operated.
Mike Mabry, we live on Curry Drive, and we share the back 1,000-foot border with the proposed property. We're not notified. We had no idea. Fortunately, somebody notified us, so we wouldn't be here. I don't want to talk about the big flood of 2009. I would like to mention all the other floods that we see back there all the time. I submitted photos of floods that are not part of the 2009 flood. It's gotten worse. My wife has lived in this house since 1969, so she's probably got a better perspective than anyone else on this exact property. And the floods have gotten worse and worse and worse year after year after year, going back years and years. Also, I submitted a photo from a game camera from pictures taken on this property. One picture has 5 coyotes. We hear coyotes howl all the time. If this is developed, the coyotes are going to go to these neighborhoods. And I don't believe DeKalb County Animal Control will address coyotes.
They're already running the creek, they're not going anywhere.
Okay.
Would you consider doing an full environmental impact statement?
No, because you're talking $1 million.
You're talking about home.
Well,
that you were hoping that this project would wind up like Marist. Am I correct? That's the only time we use the word.
I said it would be deferred like Marist. It's not Marist. It's not the same project.
Well, considering, in my opinion, that this is the same wetlands, just an extension of it south, the same creek, and also the same attorney, should that be a source of concern for all of us?
I run with the creek. Some people, covenants run with the land, I go with the creek. You know, Tom, you didn't like what we did at Marist, and I'm sorry.
Make a great walk path for a DeKalb County park. Let them go in.
Well, that's fine. You're entitled to disagree.